Welcome to Comics with Dan, and in this video, I'm going to be talking to Sean Von Gorman and Joey Esposito, creators of the Pedestrian, at Baltimore Comic-Con. It was great to finally get to meet them. I've been chatting with them on Twitter or X, pretty frequently as the first two issues of the Pedestrian have come out, and I'm loving the book so much so far, and they were kind enough to give me some advanced copies to review. So I was really excited to meet them, and as you'll be able to see in a few seconds here, that this was a really fun conversation, so enjoy. So we have here Joey Esposito and
Sean Von Gorman of comics.
of comics. And they are creators of the Pedestrian, which, if I've heard it a few times, it's a street level hero that doesn't break the law to fight crime. But
That's correct, Dan.
But there's a secret war brewing, I think. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. It's a quirky slice of life superhero thing, but beneath the surface of this fun adventure, there's an ancient war brewing linked to the secret history of street signs. There are comedic aspects to it for sure, but it's a comedy the way that Twin Peaks is a comedy. So there's some really likable characters. We have some fun along the way, but there's something really deep and dark just bubbling about to spill over into the world we're living in.
There we go. Yeah. So can you guys walk me through getting this created? How it got picked up by Magma Comix, where the idea started, kind of how you two worked together to make the Pedestrian happen?
Sean and I started working together over 10 years ago on a book called Pawn Shop, which was a slice of life graphic novel. Good luck finding it. A slice of life graphic novel about four characters who live in New York City and their lives sort of intertwined through this one pawn shop. And we've worked on other projects throughout the years, but during sort of around the time of quarantine, we were just like, what now? And Sean had this great character design of this fella here. And as soon as I saw it, I was just like, yes, I have ideas. And we just sort of hit the ground running, pun intended, you know?
There you go.
And so this sort of expands on what we were doing in Pawn Shop, in that these characters who populate our world all sort of learn to interact with each other through him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we worked on it in secret for about a year. No ego, just the best ideas, crafting this world, this character, this story, this narrative, the way this world works, the rules of the various supernatural aspects of this. And then after that year, we had something really strong that we kind of looked at and said, this is really good. We shouldn't just put this on the internet. Let's shop this around. And we shopped it to every publisher that looked at pitches at the time. We either had contacts or made contacts. Some were a hard no, some were we love this, but we don't know how to position this in the market. And we got to a point where we kind of told ourselves the publisher that we need probably doesn't exist yet, because there's new publishers popping up every day. And then Bobby at Magma found me at New York Comic-Con last year at my booth and was telling us, hey, we're doing this thing with Magma Comix. We'd love for you to pitch. And I remember Bobby was at IDW. We were pitching Pedestrian, and I said, well, we still have Pedestrian. He goes, oh, I really like that. Please send that to us. And we sent them. A few months passed. Bobby would check in once in a while, be like, hey, we're still looking, considering, which never happens. And when they finally got back to us, they were like, this is something that we couldn't leave behind. They looked at maybe 2,000 pitches of different projects, but this is something that stuck out from that. They were like, it's in our heads. We had to keep doing this. And here we are today.
Yeah. And it's interesting what you said about having all the characters interact, because one of the things I noticed in the first issue was a lot of times in comics, when people introduce a bunch of characters at once, some get lost in the shuffle. But then in issue 2, you brought them all right back, and they're all important to the story. They're all there, and they're still interacting with them. So I really love that about that. Yeah. And so obviously, Marvel and DC are the big superhero publishers, right? If you had to drop, you've heard of them. If you had to drop the Pedestrian into either the Marvel or DC universe, which would you prefer, and how do you think it would go?
He's such a versatile character, and he's fairly passive. He doesn't have an agenda, so to speak. I think he could probably work in either. We do have plans, broad strokes. If we are to continue the series, it's 4 issues right now. if it does well enough, Magma will let us continue. And we've already had people reaching out of like wanting to do team ups with the Pedestrian. I did a team up piece for the. Right here, sweetie.
Such a celeb.
Anyway, so as I was saying, where it's really interrupted. The Berkowitz brothers, who do the writer through Dark Horse Comics, reached out and we love the Pedestrian. Are you doing commissions right now? So I'm doing a splash of their character Stan for the writer for the trade paperback, and they also asked for a team up of their character in the Pedestrian, which is going to be in the trade paperback of the writer this fall. He's coming right up. Be sure to pick that up. It's canon until the lawyers get involved. And we were also, we're kind of to have to do a team up with the Pedestrian and the Tick in Baltimore Comic-Con's yearbook this year, which was so much fun. Where we love the Tick for so long, and there's definitely an aspect of same DNA here.
Oh yeah,
it's a deconstruction of the genre. And Ben had seen it on Twitter of doing the piece, and he was like, I really like that Pedestrian guy. And I swooped over and I hit and run his long line, like, hey man, here are those books I promised you. I'm not waiting in line. Goodbye.
Right. So
What was the question?
that sounds great. So which of you, this is an important one, okay? Which of you is the faster walker?
Me.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Are you like trying to keep up? I know like my wife's the faster walker between the me.
We've never had a race, but
Never had a
maybe
race.
we should.
That's, we could put that on.
But he's like a born and bred New Yorker who are just like
He's got to go, yeah.
That's kind of like the big joke of the Pedestrian. It's like you have someone who's like a New York level walker in a small town. That's kind of a superpower.
Yeah.
Like that guy he walked to the store. That was like 2 miles. Yeah, it was nothing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who, they walk from their garage to their car and their car to Publix and then reverse that, and that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe they walk around a little bit in Publix, but I used to work in Times Square at a gift shop souvenir stand, and one day this fella came in. It was like on 45th Street, like dying, like he was on a death march, and he's like, I just walked all the way here from Times Square, and he goes, you're still in Times Square, numbnuts.
Yeah.
You walked 3 blocks. I was like, where'd you start? You walked 3 blocks, dude.
Yeah. No, I visited New York recently, and the walking was wild, though. I mean, absolutely. Now, here's one I was really hoping to get answered here today. Can you give me a piece of the Laser Titans pitch, and will we ever see a Laser Titans comic?
Well, the Laser Titans actually started as its own project. That was something we were trying to put together after Pawn Shop. We're both huge fans of the Super Sentai, adaptions of these Japanese shows that were huge in the 90s. We were right in that sweet spot of like crack for kids on TV.
Yeah.
And we were like, no one's ever going to let us do this. So let's just do something that, lets us celebrate our love for these properties.
Yeah.
So we created something that maybe loosely based on laser tag. Things run on crystals for some reason. There's giant robots. But we were going to do like a very almost adult, version of that show.
It's kind of like real teenagers in that situation and how they cope with that power and how they abuse that power, probably because kids are stupid, and irresponsible. So that's kind of what that was about. I think the version of Laser Titans that's in Pedestrian, like the show itself, I would say is probably more kid-friendly.
Kid characters. It's the Japanese footage of that show that we were adapting.
Exactly.
And I feel like you might be the only writer who could take something that's Power Rangers-esque and turn it into something deep and meaningful.
Take it.
Yeah, I mean, it's because it's what you're doing with Pedestrian. It's something that on the surface is funny, and it is funny, but then you're taking it and giving it extra levels. I loved issue 2 where the crossing guard had her monologue about little evils and big evils. I thought that was extremely powerful.
Thank you.
And not something you would expect to pick up in a comic book at all, really, but especially in something that has a speed walking superhero.
Thanks,
So
man. I appreciate that.
yeah.
I know
So
something that's important to us. I think like it is a silly concept, but I think taking it very seriously and taking the characters seriously, I think lends to maybe why the book is getting the response that it is. Like, you know, I think I don't want to say it's easy to just do something that's fun and quirky, but like there has to be more. You know, and I think that working together is something that we're are able to like blend our styles a lot together to create that.
The response has been phenomenal. Like the people like you and other people posting, generating content, talking about the book. Extremely enthusiastic for something that we worked on in a dungeon, putting out, thinking, oh, is this good? Yes, it's very good. People are like, yes, we love this. This is something that speaks to me and I'm connecting with. Joey had a really strong reaction at a signing at one of his local shops. If someone had picked up the issue, looked at it, and was like, I don't know anything about this guy, but I would die for this man. Which is a strong
Very strong
to anything.
reaction. Yeah.
I mean, I'd jump in front of a train for the Pedestrian,
Thank you.
but he would never find himself on the tracks though.
You might
No,
not.
So
Are the stakes low, or have they never been higher?
yeah, that's a fair point.
But
Yeah.
it's awesome, because we've both been doing this a long time, and I don't know, people are coming over to our table here and like already know the book.
Yeah.
Which is like
Or have a copy,
have a copy,
or
and-
had a copy and can't find it. I was doing a panel with Carl Kessel, and I picked up the book and went, oh, Pedestrian! And then he pulled me after the panel. I was like, I've been looking for this all over Portland. They don't have it. Like, you've been hunting for my book?
That's got to be surreal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
that's got to be surreal. Yeah, I mean, I got mine. I pre-ordered mine, so I was lucky, and thankfully my shop got it on the day that was supposed to come out.
That's
but
right, kids. Pre-orders are so important.
That's extremely
if there's something
important.
you like, let your comic shop know that you need a copy of it, because they'll probably order some more for the rest of everybody. So add this to your pull list at your earliest convenience.
Absolutely add to the pull list. All right, I mean,
And tell your friends.
yeah, and tell your friends.
Like, share, and repost this.
There you go. Yeah, he's got it down.
He knows what he's doing.
I'm going to let him
This
run
is,
the channel.
this is the button.
This
one.
I know I have to put it
No,
on
I'm
there.
sorry. I'm sorry. That's closed captioning. That's the share. It's the weird squiggle triangle. That's the one.
There you go. Yeah, we got it. Sweet. Okay. Well, hey man, guys, I appreciate the time. I was great talking to you. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I'm gonna keep going with it. I hope it becomes an ongoing. I feel like there's got to be more. I feel like there's got to be more.
We
Yeah.
have lots of story to tell. If we have the opportunity to go where we're going with this, it will be the weirdest, wildest climax of any book we've seen in a generation.
Yeah.
Not lying.
Yeah.
Not hyperbolic at all.
Right. Exactly. This is. I mean, you heard it here first. Or if you stop by their booth, you've heard it a few times. So, so all right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh no, you go ahead. Go ahead. Get in there. Thanks so much to those guys for taking the time to talk with me, for signing my copy of The Pedestrian #1, and for also sending me a review PDF of The Pedestrian #3. So I should have a review on that out pretty soon. But in the meantime, everyone should go read The Pedestrian #1 and #2. Grab #3 when it comes out in comic shops on October 16th, and then make sure you get #4 on your pre-order list. Please make sure that you like the video. Please make sure that you subscribe. Check out my other videos here. I'm putting out a lot of Baltimore Comic-Con content. And thank you so much for watching.